Welcome back to the channel. This is just a short video to help those of you that receive an item from a shop which just doesn't match what you've seen in the shop. I read an article this morning where a lady had been waiting for a sofa for many weeks, and when it finally arrived, it looked nothing like the one she'd seen in the showroom. It looked old, and very quickly it became bubbled and it was collapsing in the center, and it just didn't look like the showroom model. Now, as I've said many times, I cannot give you advice on this channel because it doesn't relate to your specific circumstances. But what I can do is point you in the right direction for the law, so you can look at that law for yourself and you can make your own determination. Or indeed, you can seek for more legal advice. So here we go. The Consumer Rights Act protects anyone as a consumer who's buying something from a business. It doesn't protect you if you're just friends buying it from each other, and it doesn't apply for business-to-business transactions. But if you're buying it for your personal uses and you're buying it from a business who is operating as a trader, then the Consumer Rights Act of 2015 governs all of the contracts that are formed after the 1st of October 2015. Section 14 is relevant to this particular situation because this states that goods are to match the model seen or examined. This section applies to a contract to supply goods by reference to a model of the goods that has been seen or examined by the consumer before entering the contract. Every contract to which this section applies is to be treated as including a term that the goods will match the model, except to the extent that any differences between the model and the goods are brought to the consumer's attention before the consumer enters into the contract. So in other words, if you are buying something from a shop and the shop says the one that comes is going to have wooden handles as opposed to fabric handles or something like that, then obviously that is not going to match the model seen and examined because they brought that to your attention. However, in the normal case where you've examined something in the showroom, which is the purpose of a showroom, to go and see what the thing looks like, and when it arrives it's a different color or doesn't match, it's a different size, made out of a different material, not as springy, not as soft, not as hard, or any of these kind of things. If it doesn't match the one that you've seen and examined, then the Consumer Rights Act implies this term into the contract that what you've bought must match the model seen and examined. And if it doesn't, you can reject it. You have a short-term right of rejection within the first 30 days. That's assuming that you've been into the shop and purchased it. Online sales are different. I've covered that in other videos. And if a fault appears to you within the first 6 months, then it is the trader who has to prove that that fault was not present at the time of purchase. After that 6 months, you have to show that there was a fault there at the time of purchase, or that it was something inherently wrong with the product, which in many cases is not going to be difficult. Now, there's another important aspect as well. If you receive something and there's some damage to it or something wrong with it, and the trader says they will take it away and attempt to repair it, this 30-day window of initial rejection that you have is put on hold for that waiting period. So if they have it for 2 or 3 months and bring it back and it's still not fixed, and then you say, forget it, I want my money back, the trader cannot say, well, you're outside of the 30 days, you're no longer able to reject it, because that's not true. The Consumer Rights Act provides that that waiting period is put on hold for the time that they try to repair it. And if they cannot repair it, you are still within your initial 30-day period with the right to reject it. So I hope this helps somebody. Please do subscribe and share it with someone that you think might find this useful. And as always, thank you for watching.